For the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this they call it, the podcast?
Morning good. Oh, I love it.
Hey, welcome to the Earth. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'll start over.
Welcome to Morning Good.
Sweet. We're here with Peter Wong and Andrew Manning. And you were talking about how muscular I look, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I said that really weird.
Nice and organic.
Yeah.
So you were
What was
saying
that? That was
how
nice
handsome I am.
Yeah. No, I'll be honest.
Because you lost weight. Yeah, because you used to be
fat. I was a fat dude. It's
More.
fine. Yeah.
I used to be more. You were more matter.
Yeah, dude. Well, the funny part is I try to claim it so much now. I was like kind of fat, and I'm like, dude, I was a big fatty, so I can make fun of them. Like I have all this like stolen fat valor because I was kind of fat for a couple of years. That I'm like, no, as somebody who grew up like obese, I could speak, and they're all lazy.
You
Like,
were obese.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
okay.
But I'm saying like I take way too much credit for it. So now like whenever
yeah.
weight comes up, I'm like, they got no excuse. Even though I was like 10 pounds overweight.
I was that way. I think that's what something all three of us have in common.
You were heavy at one point?
I was like 210.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'10".
Okay. I was heavier than you, but I'm 2 inches taller, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think the ratio is probably pretty similar.
Yeah.
I was for sure obese. The
What defines obese? Like where does
it's
that
your
line
height to weight. It's a very crude system. So like you
Okay.
can be obese, and you might be obese right now just because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like muscular
Yeah.
and you're not extremely tall.
Right.
So like you might just be categorized as obese if you did the online thing.
Yeah.
It's very funny when clinical terms are also incredibly insulting.
It sounds
Absolutely.
obese sounds so bad.
It's
Yeah.
like the most insulting thing you can say.
Yeah. Well, it's like retarded too. It's like whatever becomes the thing. It's like now it sounds so much worse because you're like instead of saying like that guy's kind of fat, you're like you're medically fat. Like your science has decided that you're fucking fat. Instead of like I kind of feel like you're fat. It's like scientifically you're a fatty.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it's
we
so-
did an equation and you're obese.
Yeah.
There is really no sensitive medical way to tell someone that they are that.
Yeah, and I
You
have
know?
no like. It's so weird too because I'm like attracted to BBWs. So like
Okay.
I'm kind of like. There's a weird.
Is this true?
Yeah. I'm not
Is
just
that-
saying this for the
Thank you for your
listeners.
service.
Yeah, of course, dude. I'll
Is
take
that-
them off anybody's hands.
Does that mean big beautiful or big black?
Big beautiful. I'm also into black chicks.
Okay.
But I like everything. I like old ladies. I like. I don't want to say young ladies. I mean, probably 21's youngest.
That must be hard for you because as a person who's into obese ladies, they typically die young.
Of course.
So if you're into old women and fat women, you're never going to find your true queen.
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll find them, but they won't last long.
Right.
Yeah.
They come with a machine.
But guess what's around the other corner?
What?
More.
Another chick on a rascal scooter. There's more and more.
Nice.
Okay, so wait,
Did you just say morgue
huh?
when he said what's around the corner?
More.
Oh,
of
I
that.
thought you were
Is it
saying
morgue?
morgue like that's the only place he'll find those women. I was like, nice.
So wait, so you like big girls
Yeah.
and black girls, separate, like just any black girl,
Separate
or
but equal.
big and
No. I'm like, I think I just kind of like a little. I've always said this, like, people like when they,
just anything that's like weird.
dude. Honestly,
anything off
yeah,
the beaten path.
kind of, yeah, a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, like, dude,
Okay.
there's a one. Have you seen a deaf chick that's really hot?
I have.
Oh my god.
Have
Is
I
it-
seen any or
There's like a smoking hot
Oh.
deaf chick on Instagram.
Is she
Is
a
it-
comic?
No.
Okay. I
What
don't
about
know.
Marilyn Matlin? Mary Matlin?
Are you trying to say her name how she says it?
She's famous. She's Mary Matlin.
Mary
Is she-
Magdalene?
No,
I don't know.
Mary Mag.
Yes, say Mary Magdalene.
I don't know. Who is this lady?
Deaf.
Oh, she's
Actress.
just a deaf.
Yeah, I'm not like. I don't think I'm into it. I don't know. It's like
Deaf people sound off in the comments.
Yeah. Do you think they what? Do you think they like? Because you can put captions on.
Transcribe
Do you
it
think
or
they
something?
transcribe any podcasts where deaf people are just? That has to be a thing. There's no other reason for the captions.
No, I think
Wait,
the captions
what?
help.
No, you put they watch the podcast with the captions on,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What are you asking?
I'm just wondering if that's
Do
like
they
a
just
popular
read
thing.
the text and only and not the?
Yeah. Or do you think they like you're a deaf guy and you want to watch Joe Rogan? You're probably watching. You're not looking through the notes. You're watching the whole video with the captions on, like a movie. Do like a really fucking boring movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about. I just thought they just like. I thought a couple things they were just like, we're just not going to do that. Like I just thought,
Yeah.
I thought they're. Do you think they like read song lyrics too? Do you think they're like, oh, that's
That's interesting because to them it's almost just poetry and song lyrics can kind of just be the same thing. Because
so they probably like look at song lyrics like
They do dance. Like I know that it's the way we're talking about they.
yeah.
But like they can feel the vibration of the crowd when the music's on and stuff. And they'll use that to like dance and
Neat.
stuff.
Shit. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have not considered like what you were saying that deaf people can get into podcasts at all. I have never thought about that as a potential listener base. I wonder if there's any exclusively targeted at deaf people podcasts.
Yeah, it's probably just like slower because they like you're reading. It's got to be kind of annoying. I feel like reading thing. I'm a really slow reader.
I mean, they could read lips too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Or
fat
there's
and stupid.
I guess sign language podcast, like that'd be
interesting.
video podcast, right?
Yeah.
But then it's
Something
just
like
we
that.
fully defeated the concept of a podcast.
I would like to see like that sign language podcast, and it's very political. Like,
Yeah.
there's, the problem with
debates.
the liberals.
Yeah.
And it's not CNN translated into ASL. Like it is just two people who do sign language on camera and have discourse.
Dude,
Like, that's purely it.
that would be sick if Alex Jones had like a sign language interpreter next to him. You've seen the Waka Flocka one, right?
Yes.
And he thinks
She's like dancing.
Yeah, he thought she was doing like gang signs or something. Like he didn't know that she was. He talks about it later on podcast. He thought she was just dancing that way. He had no idea that was the.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't know he had his own like someone.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Translate.
Well, that's also
cool.
part of it. Is like the sign language interpreters that do those concerts. They're not just they're not just like a school teacher just doing it. They're like also like in it, and they're like animated. And I think people feed into like that energy. It's actually what makes them kind of really interesting to watch. I've watched deaf people stop each other, like interrupt each other, and it's so much more rude because they have to like go
Hold
like,
their hands.
They literally do that. It's so
just
intense.
curl their fingers around the other person's fingers.
Yeah,
just slowly.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, because how do you? Yeah, or you? I guess you couldn't. To be fair, you could just close your eyes. So you just couldn't see what they're saying. You could just be like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm not listening." Yeah,
That's the version of la 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 la.
Yeah. Man, that is so silly.
The comedy ones are incredible. Have you seen that? They used to do it at Caroline's. There's videos of like Bill Burr and Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And Louis just like
Blowjob,
trying to be
blowjob,
his-
blowjob,
yeah, he's
blowjob,
trying to-
blowjob.
so, like he's just like this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hair on the mic. I'd love, and it's
thank you.
bothering me.
He puts it in his mouth.
But the point I was saying about I like all types of I like all types of women. I think the only
Oh,
one.
so you like skinny women too?
Yeah.
But you don't like big beautiful BBWs more.
I don't know. Like this is tough. Yeah, I think if you were to like put it down, if the woman is like, I'd kind of rather go a little thick than a little.
Then a little too skinny.
Yeah.
What draws you to them?
Gravity.
I think it just like I'm like I think because I'm like maybe a little bit like I sub and dom. I fucking every time I
You
say that
do?
I'm like I sound so I'm like
No,
I'm
just being open about your
yeah.
stuff.
I'm going to a kink required dress code thing this Saturday, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And so you might be the perfect person to talk to about that.
Is this a sex party or just a
Yeah,
soiree? of
It's
some
have you
nature?
heard of Bound?
no.
So it's, I guess, I don't know what the main thing is. If it's a DJ music thing with the sex room on the side, or if it's a sex room with the DJ thing on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the sex room's the main thing.
Right.
But the dress code is you have to wear kink.
Dress code is so funny. Be like, for the mouth fucking party.
Yeah.
Sir, you're no.
This is a black ball gag event.
By the way, there's so many sounds in your apartment.
Oh yeah. There's
There's
fucking fire.
true.
There's
There's
a
so much-
beeping that nobody has told me where it's coming from.
Oh,
I
so
was-
there's a beeping.
I heard it. I heard the beeping, and I was like expecting you to be like, "Oh, gotta fucking turn that up." Like I thought the podcast had just ended.
I can't
Nope.
hear it. Where do you hear from?
It was over with in 3 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a few minutes ago.
Jeez.
Yeah. Listeners, if you hear a beep, let me know when it was. It's a fun little Easter egg for the podcast.
That's so unpleasant for the listener. So unpleasant.
I listened to a few minutes of your pod like last night just to reacquaint myself with like how this goes, and I didn't hear a single background noise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then today it sounds like
I thought you said I didn't
somebody's-
hear a single joke. I don't know. I was prepared.
No, it was really funny.
It's so funny because just like the way podcasts go, I'm like revving myself up. I'm like, all right, what am I going to fire back with? And he's
No,
like,
I didn't hear a single background noise, and that includes laughter.
Right, yeah. I wish there was something to distract from the pod itself.
yeah. Dude, my favorite is I listened to Pitbull's podcast one time, and he's just
I thought you were
Pitbull
just
has
gonna
a
say
podcast?
pit bulls.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be more soothing than like. That's how you know you live in a loud apartment is when you put on like headphones and you're like and it's just like barking dogs.
yeah, something just completely
Wait.
insane.
Oh, not Pitbull.
No, Pitbull, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully future governor of Florida.
I was just saying
Oh, just dogs.
joking,
Okay.
yeah, about his loud ass apartment and like that's his soothing white noise.
Okay.
Is like junkyard dogs.
Weird
Yeah,
things
yeah,
do
yeah.
soothe me. I fell asleep to the largest atomic bombs dropped. There was a whole documentary
yeah.
about it. And it was weirdly just like kind of like you should watch the mushroom. That might be the most American thing.
That's
just like, oh, Hiroshima. Yep, that was us.
Yeah.
It's mostly the tests.
It's
but-
so dystopian to say something like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah.
Say I fell asleep.
How were your dreams that night? I bet rosy.
It was just
But they
kind
were
of like
sweet.
They weren't. It was not like it wasn't including the actual. It was mostly the tests because most of the tests are bigger than the actual like.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that true?
yeah,
The
yeah.
tests,
Why are
because
the
we've
tests
had more
bigger?
tests because technology has just come so much further. The only nuclear bombs used for realsies were like 80 years ago.
Oh.
So every time we test since then, they're just better and better.
Where are they
Oh,
testing?
okay.
I mean, I was falling asleep to it. So where are they like testing them?
They have tested them, I think, in kind of deserted areas of like Nevada.
Okay.
They also, in Russia, they have plenty of areas that are just already wasteland adjacent.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, Russia's massive.
They build the biggest bombs, as far as we know. They've had the biggest test.
they're bigger than us.
They are much bigger than us.
Hey, before this, can I ask you about the
Pitbull.
no the we have
The
so
BBWs?
many. What do you call it? When you-
Tangents.
tangents
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
going.
Someone's told me that they're like, I like conversations with you because you say 9 things and I get 9 options of things I want to talk about.
That
You're like,
is
that's kind of
nice.
fucking boring. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this.
Like right now, you've just added your ADD to the portfolio of
His-
topics.
he was trying to ask me something. And
Right.
I'm like, wait, let me say another
And for
thing.
me, it's so infuriating. It's so the opposite of what.
Convenience.
So for Bound, okay. So have you done one of those, like a sex party?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I've heard of. Like I'm trying to like act like I'm cool. I'm like, no, I've heard of them. I've always been busy when I've been invited. No, but is it like? I mean, this is really fucking weird. Who gives a fuck? Suck my balls, whoever's listening. I have things you could. I've never worn it, but I have a thing you could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a shirt.
Oh no.
It's like a shirt. It is something you wear.
All right.
So what's an example of one thing you've got?
Like a collar,
A collar, and it's a slave collar.
a slave collar. Yes.
Okay.
It says Toby. No,
I'll take a look at it. You said
It says Toby. That's hilarious.
I like that. I like for that to stop people in there and going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
dude?"
No, this chick, I don't know. She likes to dominate me. She got a collar that says, I like to say it like it's not part of my thing too. I'm like, she likes to dominate me. I'm like, I don't know what fucking.
I was like, "Oh, she's fucking real."
yeah, like, yeah. No, she got a collar that says good boy, and then it didn't have a thing to hook a leash on. So I was just like, they sent us a second one. So there's just 2. I've never used it, but I mean, it looked
Amazing.
fucking insane.
No,
But
I love the customer service department of
Absolutely.
this place. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, we'll get you a new one.
yeah,
right
yeah,
away."
yeah.
You'd think they would actually be really mean if they wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
give
They're
you
like,
what you
fucking-
wanted.
If you want a replacement, tell us you're a fucking piece of garbage.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you would like that. You would like to be walked around like a dog, you little slime.
5 out of 5 stars. They
Right.
wouldn't give me my refund back.
Wouldn't give me a refund. In fact, told me to send this back. They were like, "You pay for shipping." Oh,
That
just a
has to
beautiful
exist
experience.
because Dick's Last Resort. You know what Dick's Last Resort
Yep.
is, right? That's got.
Is that a
Yeah, tell him.
restaurant where
Yep.
they're mean to you? Yeah,
But it's
okay.
like fun and playful.
Right.
They should have. There's got to be a strip club like that where they're specifically like a dominant strip club where they're just kind of mean to you.
Yeah, I
Or am I
imagine-
just coming up with great ideas?
I think you just came up with a great idea, and even if they've already done it, you can do it again. You know, that'd be like being like, man, I wish a restaurant served great food. It's like people open those all the time. You can do it.
Thanks, man.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
What about like a Dick's Last Resort where they because they can't do like race stuff. I don't
They
think.
used to.
Oh really?
Apparently, they used to. Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
How did they do it? We're gonna seat you over here.
I mean, probably accents and stuff like that.
Oh.
I'm guessing. I don't know why I've heard they. I mean, I it's got to be a
Oh.
That must take so much out of.
courage and bravery and respect from me. I'm just kidding.
But that must take so much like easy ammunition from the waiters and you can feel like this verbal gymnastics of getting away from what's the most obvious thing to like. If I sit down there and they say anything other than the obvious,
Right.
I almost feel bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What do you
they're
mean?
playing with handicap.
Yeah. They have to come up. Look at this jerk.
Yeah.
You know, or you know.
Oh, so
Asshole.
I'm like trying right now, and I'm like, you're
Yeah, go ahead. Let
you're
it out.
locked down. There's nothing. It's like, yeah, wore your greatest fucking sweatshirt to come out to dinner, huh? Your pants are short. Like, what do you say?
you're Chinese, right?
Yes.
Outside of that, there's nothing that really stands out about you. I mean,
That's the worst thing.
well, say with me when I used to be a big fat piece of shit. Like I'm just like normal looking guy. Same with all three of us. Just look
No,
like
I would
regular
say
guys.
you actually are on the like muscular side of normal
now.
Yeah.
That's insane breakup pain and stuff like that. But
When did you have a breakup again?
So long ago, I should be over it. It was a year and a half.
Hey, as long as
okay.
it's still doing stuff for you, that's positive. I
Dude,
guess.
dude, I was in the gym because she got a new boyfriend. And I'm not even going to pretend like I was not in the gym just like, yeah! Like, all day the other day. Yeah. But I think it was necessary for like the stand-up. I don't know, like I kind of fucked around for like a year and a half. Not really, but like.
Was she a comic?
No.
How'd you know she got a boyfriend?
Because my friend told me in a
You
terrible
told me about
way.
this.
What's the terrible way?
Well, I was having a great night and I was in such a good mood. There's no good way to tell somebody that.
Yeah.
I just had a weird feeling too a couple weeks ago. I was like, why do I feel like my ex-girlfriend has a new boyfriend?
Oh, that's
And-
very like that's a bizarre thing to have happen in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
have just spidey senses.
I don't know, dude. I was just driving down the road in Florida. I was like, why do I feel like she has a new boyfriend?
Mhm.
And what happened was I had like a great night of shows, so it was like the perfect time to tell me. And I was like, why'd you tell me when I was having a good night? And I was like, well, actually, that was ideally the best time to tell me. But he was kind of drunk at a bar. He goes, "Oh, dude, I hate to tell you, I'm just been weighing on me. Her new boyfriend, really nice guy. I really like him."
Oh,
He's like, I
fuck.
wanted to hate him. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I didn't know this guy existed. And I sat down at this table. And it was so funny. I just sat down at the closest chair to me because I was fucking dizzy. It was like a lot of information all at once.
Yeah.
Because we were together for 7 years. And I sit at a table where a big black guy's having dinner with his wife. And I guess I just sat at their table and like just soaked the info. I wasn't like drunk. I had like 3 drinks and I sat down and the guy's like, dude, you're sitting at my table. And then I was like, I'm not trying to be a dick. And he misheard me. He thought he said I have a bigger dick. And he's like, you think you got a bigger dick? I was like, no. I was like, I just found out my ex-girlfriend has a new boyfriend. I'm dealing with a lot of information right now. He goes, what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple deep breaths. And then I'm going to give you a big hug.
Oh, he
He
came to be like a console you and everything.
Yeah. And then we did he goes, that's not deep enough. And I was like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cool dude.
And then he just left the restaurant with his wife.
And then you remembered that you were a waiter at Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah.
Listen here, you big.
No.
So brutal. Okay.
Yeah. But it was like one of those things that I was just like, holy fuck. It was just like a lot. And then my buddy's just like, I'm like,
The one
all
who
right,
told you?
Yeah. I was like, just give me a fucking second to like think about this a little bit. And then like 40 minutes later, I'm at the bar and he's like, are you still on that? And I was like, wow. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Who's this buddy of yours? Who's this guy?
No, we'll talk about it.
What a
He's good guy.
sensitive guy.
Yeah.
You're still on that, bro?
Yeah, I was like, dude. Yeah, but
Jesus.
it's also hard too because it's like I've been out for like a year and a half, and I haven't wanted to get back together because right now I just want to be single and live my life and like.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna
How old are
lie,
you?
like that door. What's up?
How old are you?
28.
Okay, cool. Same age.
Yeah. And I'm like, don't like I'm not gonna lie and pretend like in my mind that door hasn't been like half open, half. Because in my mind I'm like, oh, right now I'm doing my thing, but maybe. And also
I might be back with her one day, kind of a thing.
yeah. And that like totally closed the door, which is good because it was a bad way to think about things. Like you should not just be like, because we'd hooked up before, like a while ago, but like and it was like it was just it was this sort of like halfway thing that I was like part of me was like I don't want to like this isn't the only reason I'm not back with her, but it's like she like the whole stand up thing was really tough for the relationship, and I was kind of like, oh, you don't put somebody back in the position that you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just kind of thought
if you bring her back, what changed from that
right?
time?
And she said a lot of things, and I said a lot of things. We're like, oh, this would be different, but I'm like. If I genuinely talked to my therapist the other day, and she's like, "Oh, if this is like," she's like, "She probably is happier in a relationship," and I'm like, "It is like the sad truth that like I'm happier not in a relationship right now. She's happier in one. I can't provide a relationship."
Dude, brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys got any riffs on that? I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah. But no,
I'm sorry for your pain, buddy.
Yeah, it's okay. It's been but it's like it was funny because I told my brother about it, and he was just like. Dude, you've just been out there getting pussy because I have zero sympathy for you right now, which is fair.
Grass is always greener, though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
I did a little breakup-y thing 2 months ago, and I had the thought experiment of even though I initiated it, I was at a bar like we live near each other, and I was at a bar near us. I had a thought experiment of just like her coming into the bar with some guy. And I would it would hurt. It would kill me.
Yeah,
you know? So, I think you never want them to move on.
Which is so funny. You're like, no. When it's time for me, then you're just fucking insane. It's so psychotic to be like, yeah, I know we could have back a couple 6 months, but now it's it's really greedy, but it's also like yeah, it's very funny too because then I'm like just thinking about the things about me. I'm like, I love to see that guy try to shoot a bottle rocket out of his ass. Like all these things that are like, but apparently he's a nice guy, which is good. And I'm like, yeah, he's got the same. I'm not going to get into. There's other details, but yeah, everything should be fine.
Would you rather the new boyfriend be a nice guy or like a kind of an asshole?
Nice guy. No, I'm genuinely like I genuinely really care about her, and I want her to have like a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that, but now answer like you're not on a podcast.
I want him to be less funny than me.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
A nice guy, kind of a different kind of guy.
And not as good in bed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But he's there for her emotionally. Kind of like I want her to have a gay boyfriend, basically.
That's funny.
Doesn't have sex. How about that? How about he's a closeted homosexual?
Mm-hmm.
And
but in some way she's also happy.
Yes.
Yeah. This isn't like killing her inside, where she's just like, he won't touch me.
Yeah.
She's fun. They like go out and dance, and they like read together, and he makes her hot cocoa, and she's just like oblivious to his obvious homosexuality.
He's like a sweet, safe choice.
Yeah,
that's what you want for your ex. A sweet,
totally.
safe choice.
Yeah.
That is ultimately not fulfilling.
Yeah.
Right.
10 years down the line, I'm stuck kind of thing. That'd be ideal.
Or maybe in a way that they just never realize is unfulfilling. Do you know what I mean?
No. It's got to be unfulfilling exactly when I'm ready for a relationship. There's just
yeah. Have you seen The Notebook?
A while ago, yeah.
There's like this large gap of time, and then the two destined to love each other people end up back together at like the right time. It's like I was picturing you being that guy just standing there in the fucking rain, being like, yeah, I've been ready and now you're ready too. Let's fucking do this. I built you a house.
Yeah.
Get in here.
But that's not how timelines work.
No.
But I think it's good for me to have that. Like, it is good. It was just like growing pains. I was talking to my therapist. I'm 95% sure somebody told me to shut the fuck up on the phone with my therapist the other day. I was walking by and I was talking to my therapist on the phone.
Oh, boy.
About all this. And I heard somebody in the basement yell, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, either he was yelling at me or somebody else. I'm like, that is so funny to just hear a guy be like, you fucking pussy, shut up. Yeah.
Well, it is invasive to loudly do therapy in the public.
But these walls are so thin.
These?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do it in here is what you're saying.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
So you only do telephone therapy.
Yeah. Because it's just better to schedule. And I also, I don't know if my therapist lives in New York. I mean, you're supposed to technically be in the same state, but I don't know what she's up to.
Oh, you mean that by law?
Yeah, by law. I mean, some people told me their therapist like won't let them. They'll travel outside to a different city. And they're like, we can't do therapy if you're in a different city, which is fucking.
Oh, that's so lame.
Yeah.
Really? I've had no problems.
Neither have I, but apparently it's a thing because I know, like, I try to have my therapist from Florida and FaceTime her up here initially, and she's like, "No, it's across state lines." I don't know.
What? Interesting.
I think
I did therapy at an airport once.
No. I don't think it's. I think it's a weird law that like nobody really cares about.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you're not supposed to practice like medicine outside of, right? Is that a thing?
Yeah. let me try to harken back to my days at medical school. Yes, I do believe that is against the rules.
Well,
good sir.
I think you can answer calls, but I don't think you're supposed to do like paid work because it's like if you're on an airplane, it's not like the doctor could be like, "Look, there's nothing I can do about this person dying."
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
Maybe
He's like, once we land in my home state, I will put this person through CPR. But right now, they're just gonna have to tough it out.
Yeah. This is probably all nonsense, but
I was thinking this guy who probably was screaming at somebody to shut up in his own basement. I think in public is an okay place to talk on the phone. You know, regardless of kind of what you're talking about, as long as you're not like screaming.
I'm pretty loud.
You're pretty loud. You get
I
animated.
just think I'm a loud. I don't think it's intentional, but I think I am a loud person. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I would worry about other people just hearing my stuff.
Yeah, I'm a pretty open, but I don't know. I feel like I just on the internet I talk about how I have a good boy caller, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know.
So what if my neighbors hear me complaining to my therapist?
But you know what's so weird? This is a good point. I'll do it out there, but I'm nervous about my roommates hearing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get
That
that.
is kind of makes no sense.
understand.
I feel like I've just with my roommate. I don't know why I feel like I'm just annoying him. So there's a weird thing with that. I'm not really worried about him hearing about my like therapy. I'm more worried about like, oh, he has to sit through my therapy.
Right.
Versus where I'm walking around, I'm thinking like, oh, this is only a brief second that somebody's hearing about my issue. Versus like if somebody had to stand there and listen to my shit. Then
There's just a bunch of people with a piece of your therapy.
Yes.
And they can come together.
And they're like, we're taking them down.
They can put the whole story together. What'd you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just this large game of telephone across 60 people on the sidewalk.
Are you guys good with telling feelings to people,
Friends
and stuff?
I'm like too good at it where I feel like I tell it. I think I told you about this the other night.
Yeah,
what
you
I just
did,
talked
yeah.
about. Yeah, I'm just talking to
Yeah.
I talk yeah.
Like wide open wound.
Yeah.
What
I
about
don't
you?
know about wide open. I think it's sometimes difficult to like recognize when I am feeling something sometimes and then put it into words
I
to
get
people.
that.
So it's like
You're
sometimes
like a delayed.
yeah,
mad.
I'll realize I had been feeling a certain way and it's kind of like the frog boiling scenario where you're like, you know, I didn't realize I was irritable because it slowly kind of happened throughout the day for a multitude of reasons. and-
Women hate that.
Who?
Women hate that shit, don't they?
I don't seem to love it. They don't seem to love it at all. And then they're like, "Are you okay? You seem off." And you're like, "I'm fine. I'm me. I'm normal." And they're like, "Holy shit!"
And then
you're
a
like-
couple of days, then you have to go and
Yeah,
then you tell them.
it's like I
When
was
they-
having a bad day.
Yeah,
and I didn't know it.
That kind of happened to me today at the gym. I think I was definitely like in the general the therapy helped, but I think I'm like a little bit,
on
mentally
edge.
shook by all this. Yeah, and I was at the gym and this guy I mean, give real opinions on this. So I put the weights on the bench press and then I went to throw my clothes in a locker. It was gone for 2 minutes. And there was a guy cleaning my weights off the thing, putting his new weights on. And I was like, oh, I just went to the locker room to throw something in there. And he goes, that's not how things work, man. And I was like, I get that I should have left the thing there.
Yeah.
But he just goes, that's not how things work. And I was like, no, dude, I literally, if I went to go grab water, would you have came and done the same thing? He's like, well, you didn't. I was like, yeah, but I literally, I didn't even lock my locker. Like, I just threw my clothes in a locker and
Yeah.
walked. And the locker's like right next to the bench. Like, it's like right there.
Okay.
And that it's
First
like,
of all, is this dude bigger than you?
no, way smaller.
That's what I was getting from your responses. I was like, there's no way he's speaking to a fucking 6'6" like Viking looking dude.
No,
like
no,
that.
no. Skinny, Brooklyn-y kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah, guy.
So he did nothing wrong in taking off the weights and starting his set. I think you agree with that.
Yeah.
I think where he came off wrong is saying that's not how it works. It's such a smarmy way to
Mhm.
talk.
Well, because like if I did that, like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were doing okay. No, so yeah, if what happens is if you do it, it's a misunderstanding, and you go, "Oh, no worries," and then you just let the original guy get back the bench.
Yes,
That's all. But to say it's not how it works is you're just kind of being a smartass about it, and it now challenges you to not like. If you like, there's a way for him to say it, and then you can surrender with it, and now your ego doesn't get into play.
Yeah.
But for him to say that's not how it works here, there's a new there's a new game you have to play.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, so if I just let him do it, I'm a fucking bitch.
Totally.
So now you got to have unbelievably unnecessary fucking discourse about this whole thing.
Yeah, and it got
so minor. Yeah.
No, exactly. That's exactly how it went down. It was like he's like, that's not how things work, and I was like, what if I would have gone to get water? And it's like, this is what I totally believe. I should have left something there.
Yeah.
But I was not gone for more than 2 minutes. He made no mistake by saying nobody's here. Let me put new weights on. He made no mistake if he I should have I don't know. But it's like at that point, if I walked up to a thing and started doing and there's nobody around.
Yeah.
First off, I normally wait. I normally ask him hey, was somebody on this?
There's like a look around kind of thing too.
Yeah. And then if he came back, I would have been like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you here, or something like that, or can I work in with you, or something like that. Or I'd be like, sorry, I didn't see your stuff there. But to just be like, this is now mine.
Yeah.
You are gone. This is mine.
Uh-huh.
This is how you know what it is? It's the same thing with the fucking girlfriend. It's the same feeling. I was gone for 2 minutes. Now somebody else takes my thing, and they're like, this is mine now. And I'm like, hey, whoa,
2
I was
minutes,
gone for
a year and a half.
So how did this resolve?
Well, what happened was another bench Hasidic Jewish guy walked up and goes, this one's open over here.
Wow.
I love that.
No conflict over here. And
I
was
love the third party that has no skin in it, but just is willing to take time out to resolve this conflict.
Yeah.
That he's seeing is fucking unnecessary.
Totally. Yeah. And
I'm very pleased by that.
Yeah, and I remember I said, I was like, dude, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I was gone for 2 minutes, and I should have put my thing there. And then whatever, it gets even funnier. So we both work out next to each other. And
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Who had heavier weights? You were the guy.
Me, and I made sure of it. I literally was like, dude, I didn't, by the way, I didn't go to the gym for 10 years. And something just happened to me in the last year where I'm not insane. I do a 45-minute workout. I'm not doing crazy shit, but it made me, I put more weight on today because I was like, fuck that guy. He was right next to me. I was like, I'm going to.
Absolutely. The worst parts of my brain, if I were a person who would indulge in all of the dark, mean things I fantasize about doing to get back at somebody who slighted me in public, what I would do is pull up my bench right next to his and just fucking stack the heaviest weights I could and do whatever exercise he was doing.
Just more than him.
I was here for legs today, but fuck it, this guy's doing triceps, so am I.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the side of his head the entire time he does this.
Well, he's doing it, yeah.
I watched somebody I'm sorry.
No, continue, dude.
I was at the library today there's this reading room that's huge, and it is just a silent, massive workspace. And nobody fucking makes any noise. It's beautiful. This lady comes in and scrapes the fuck out of this wooden chair on tile floors. It makes this god-awful grinding, screeching sound. Mm-hmm. So loud, everybody around looks up. Someone goes, Jesus Christ. One guy puts his hands over his ears, which I thought was a little too much, but
Are you good at sound effects?
No, that's why I didn't do it. Otherwise, but just imagine.
Can you try anyways?
Please.
That's
Scooby-Doo.
That's actually better than I thought it would be. Yeah, the chair sound
sounds like Tool Time.
And then this older lady across from this new young middle-aged lady goes hey, could you try to keep it down? And this other younger lady is smirking and then grabs another chair and unnecessarily starts banging it up and down loud as fuck. Staring at this lady the whole time. The elderly lady got up and just walked away and found a new seat. And oh man, the things that I would have loved to have happened to that fucking lady who made all that noise.
Now, was she just ignorant, or was she being a bitch?
She seemed
trying to do that.
Maybe mentally ill. There's a lot of people that come into the library just to hang out who don't have anywhere else to be. She seemed like easily mentally ill.
Yeah.
Could have been like a homeless person who like looks normal. You know, those kinds where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll sit next to this person. They're normal. And then they start like, you know, chewing on a Snickers bar wrapper
Yeah,
or something.
You don't realize till you're like halfway into a conversation, then you're like, "Fuck, I'm already talking to this person."
Yeah.
And they're out
They're
of
like-
Yeah.
So I think she was
But she wasn't actually pulling out a chair to sit on it to do something.
She, like a child, like looked at this lady, took this heavy wooden chair and started banging it
Yeah.
up and down in a library.
Yeah.
Just to make a
Dang.
point, like, I don't give a fuck. Do you
Yeah.
want to sass me again? I don't give a fuck.
At that point, once you see that, you're like, oh, I'm out. I'm out of
Yeah.
whatever this. I don't need to do this.
That's the right thing to do. But then there's all these fantasies about like, I'm going to pull my workout bench up to this fucking.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing that happened is it went full. I go on another machine, and he's just getting yelled at by this jacked Dominican guy.
What?
Who is?
And the same guy.
What do you
Why?
get yelled
He did
at
the
for?
same thing. He walked up to some guy's thing, and there was a bag there, and he like ignored the bag.
Oh, so this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and it felt so good. I kept
Hell yeah.
walking by the conversation, and I was like, "What are they fucking? Did he do the same fucking thing?" And he goes, "Yeah, my bag was here, man. You don't fuck it." He goes, and he started telling that guy, he goes, "That's not how we do it in this gym." So I was like, "Yes, suck my fucking cock."
Did you go up and kind of?
Oh no!
Stand behind
wait,
him, like
in between.
yeah, like when your mom scolds your sibling.
Yeah.
Stand
In
behind her.
between this, I forgot I was a total bitch. So me and him were racking up. After we did the bench press thing where we hadn't talked after our fight. We went to put.
You guys were giving each other the silent treatment.
Yeah. Oh,
you
we were
know.
kind of just like moving, and then I was like, "Hey, man, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I should have put something down there to prove that it was my spot."
Yeah.
I was like, "This gym gets kind of crowded. You know, gets a little possessive about stuff," and we shook hands.
Uh-huh.
But then I saw him do it to the other guy, and I was like, "You fucking cocksucker!"
Then you go back and renege your apology.
Yeah,
You go.
yeah.
You know what? You are a fucking dick.
Yeah.
I would like to rescind my adult apology.
And
and
turn
please,
into a child
yeah,
right now.
please strike that reasonable moment of my life from the record.
Yeah. And you
Turns out
were-
I was wrong.
Yeah, and it was so funny to just see the guy. Like they ended up like they figured it out where he's shaking hands with the guy, and I was like,
Wow.
I was just like,
fully.
but I could see it. I was like, I could see your fucking. I could see the way this guy's talking to you, and he's not. It's not a real handshake. It's a fucking kiss the tip of my penis. Like I could just tell. I was like, you know, when you see like a real handshake between two guys. I think me and him had a real handshake. But this was, I could see the fear in his eyes when he was shaking hands with this big Dominican guy, and I was like, "You fucking bitch!"
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was earnestly not on your side for this the whole time. Because 2 minutes is so long. Like
really.
2 minutes is so long to leave a machine at the gym. And then but I'm now imagining maybe you were exaggerating and meaning like 2 minutes to just mean like however long it takes you to walk from like here to the door and back.
2 minutes is long.
2 minutes is so long.
Like if I walked away from here and you looked at this spot and counted to 120, it's like
Okay.
it's
You're like
insane.
someone can
Whatever
sit
amount
here.
of
This
time
seat's
it would
open.
take- It would take for me, literally, the locker was right where the door is.
Right.
That distance. Threw it in, walked back. It's not the fact that, like, it's, for me, it's more the fact of, like, if somebody said, "Oh, I was using that," I normally would be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't," like, because there's no way he was there for longer than a certain amount of, like, he was not there enough time. Because when I came back, the weights were completely cleaned off and his new weights were on. So it's like, that means he, within 30 seconds,
Yeah.
Yeah. You giving that info about the Dominican guy, it's clear that he doesn't respect any of the
Yes.
stuff. So that's clear then. Yeah.
yes.
That's what turned the tide for me on this. And now I'm
So why didn't
Pro
you say
Michael.
that? Why didn't earlier you tell the
Because
truth?
he wanted to.
I was like willing to let the conversation go, and if it came to me about what I think about this, I was gonna offer what I thought. But if it didn't, I would just be like, let's just see how this story goes. Maybe because I deal with people at the gym. My gym also gets crowded and shit, and like the territorial, possessive kind of fucking people taking up space really irks me. And so that doesn't seem like what you did.
No, and I'm also like,
you
dude,
know?
I have no issue with him taking the weights off and putting his on.
Mhm.
But normally, like I was in the wrong. I should have left something there. But normally, when somebody was like using something and they say, "Oh, I was just on that," I wasn't like, "Fuck you," I was just on it. I was like, "Oh, I just went to I just went to drop something." I didn't just say bathroom. I said I went to just throw something in my locker real quick. Normally, you would go, "Can I work in with you?" Or you say like, "Oh, okay, I didn't realize this was empty." You
Yeah.
don't just say, That's not how things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My gym, everyone's real nice. It's been
Nice.
nice. I every time if I'm people we check in, hey, was this you on this? There's a lot of that.
Well, that's what I know. I
energy.
normally go. I'm like, was anybody using this? Is anybody using this?
It's very good.
What
There
do
was
you go
one
to?
time in Astoria, there's a place called Matrix Fitness, which is pretty
That's
good.
fucking sick.
I go to Blink in Astoria. on
Yeah.
Skyway. Yeah.
Mine is more expensive and better. Anyways,
I save money and deal with scumbags.
Yeah, doesn't it?
there is something about spending less, and then you do
You
deal.
see why?
You yeah, you see the value of
Yeah.
the more.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like people with the Blink will bring like so many weights to like in one area because it's like, and it's a contagious culture because you go like, oh well, if everybody's doing it, you're like somebody's gonna take these weights. If I don't, like, I'm not gonna get to work out.
Yeah,
But is it true like the more expensive the gym, the more gay sex is happening in the? No, I've heard.
Before
I've
we
heard
get to that,
Equinox.
that's a great topic.
okay.
What happened at your gym? You were going to say there was one time where things weren't so nice.
yeah. There was one time where there's like a kid on the the assisted squat rack machine, like where it's like the things, and then he had the bench there, or whatever, and then I guess there's an older guy who came, and he goes, he saw the kid like finishing up his last thing, and he goes, he's about to go start moving the weights, and the kid's like, no, I'm not done yet. I'm holding this machine for my friend. And then the older guy goes, oh yeah, you do that for each other? That's interesting.
That is such a good old person insult.
And then he walks away. And then the kid goes, what the fuck, man? What do you? And then he's all like stewing. And then the guy's already gone. And then I can see him walking to people around going, like, what the fucking, what's this deal? And just people going, oh, well. Like,
That's so good.
people not invested enough to really give him much.
Yeah.
The kid just fucking losing it.
Oh,
So,
that's so
that's what
perfect. It's like using negative space in comedy. It's like you didn't.
It's
say
a judo throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You didn't say too much, but you said a lot. You know?
Just
Yeah.
such a, oh, that's
Oh,
so
you and
good.
your friend do that for each other. That is interesting. The things you guys do for each other on the squat machine where you work out your glutes. Yeah, that's cool. You have to stay here because you're holding this. I'm gonna go talk to everybody else. They're gonna get my story first. You have to stay here though. So enjoy that.
That's so good. Yeah, I'm like weirdly, dude. I'm still like I don't want to admit it, but I still am intimidated by old guys, and like I don't like. I'm like I was one of those kids like I would always stand up to like teachers and stuff like that if they're being like something I thought was stupid. I was like, no, I'm like you're like a lot of them like our principal. I remember in middle school was like a loser, and I would very much just be like this guy sucks and he's a dick. Like I was not a
That's
coward.
so interesting to speak to someone who had such a different outlook than I did as a kid.
Yeah, I was
I-
like these guys are fucking. I was so.
I didn't know that adults, like, I didn't know what a loser adult was or looked like or what that meant.
Yeah.
So I just respected kind of adults.
Same.
I think that was just like instilled
What
in me.
adults say is correct. Period.
Right,
That's
yeah.
just the way. And it wasn't like it should be correct. It was factually, what they know more, so this must be true.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah,
So I'm like that. Yeah.
I was so different. I remember like because in middle school,
It's very insightful.
yeah, well, our principal was. I was very smart as a kid in those ways that I was like, oh no, this guy fucking sucks. He's a piece of shit.
You were a nightmare student, huh?
100% middle school. Yeah, I knew. I went to a private middle school, so I was the dumbest kid there. So I was like, all right, well, I can't be the smartest. It was
Where
actually
did
really
you go?
discouraging. Trinity Preparatory School,
Where's that?
Florida.
Okay, in Florida. I did.
Did you say
yeah.
preparatory?
Yeah.
Is that what is that?
Prep,
what-
prep school?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It prepares you for, I assume, college,
Yeah.
Okay.
life, maybe.
Yeah. Life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I remember because I wasn't the smartest kid. I was like, oh, okay, because I went to private school.
I'm sorry. It's not preparatory.
I'm
Oh,
with
it's probably
you on this.
preparatory. You're probably right.
It is,
He
right?
was just saying how he was the dumbest in the school.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
proceeded to mispronounce his school.
Okay. I'm sorry. It
Yeah,
just,
I went
couldn't.
to
I
Trinity
told you I'm
Predatory
stupid.
School.
What do you not get
know?
about this?
I just needed not just to be a fucking. I know how to say
So
the
it's
word.
preparatory. It's not preparatory.
It's definitely not preparatory.
I thought that was something I wasn't. I was like, just in case it's something I'm wrong about, I need to know this forever.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
god.
good. Now,
Yeah, now it's on the internet forever.
now I'm correct and you're not. All right.
Yeah, so I was a fucking dumbass. And
Sorry. Please go on.
Yeah. But I I think because of I was in private school my whole life until high school, I was like, oh, I'll never be the smartest kid. So I was always just I was the funny kid or the screw up. I was like a troublemaker anyways. I remember the principal, he would do shit where he would we would laugh in this guy's face. He literally one time it was so good because I was like,
God damn, this guy must have been so depressed.
oh no, he was a
This
piece of
poor
shit.
fucking
He fucked
guy.
up a bunch of kids' moms.
Oh,
Yeah, the guy's a piece
And this
of
guy's
shit.
a loser?
that's not bad, is it?
No, he's a loser because he took out his energy on no, because they're married wives.
Oh.
He was a loser because he took his energy. He tried to intimidate fucking kids. I knew what he was doing.
Dude, some guys have such good game, dude. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's why it's really funny when these incels online are no, you can be a fucking loser and bang a woman who's married to a successful guy,
dude.
Yeah.
And she comes and fucks the principal.
yeah.
It's insane. That just shows how little I know about.
Cheating on a home wrecking? That's, I think, a good thing.
No,
A
it's just
compliment.
I have so much trouble wooing just a single girl
Who's looking for a
options
guy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's this fucking guy as a principal.
Yeah.
And she.
By the way,
this
middle school principal.
middle
not
school
even high
principal where the
principal.
kids are calling him a fucking pussy and
Yeah.
whatever. And he's fucking these married women, ruining houses, and it's insane.
That is a
So-
piece of shit, actually. That guy sucks bad.
Yeah.
So the kids would laugh in his face, though. So that's kind of cool. That's
I
like
would,
karma.
I would, because I knew this is my thing. I was like, I know what you are. I was very smart in these ways. I was like, I know you're a real weak human being because you're trying to intimidate middle schoolers. There's something about that. I could tell when people are
Oh,
I had a phone
they're
call.
trying to power trip on.
Yes, I had a phone call. Remind me about the painter phone call. I'll bring that up in a second.
Paint
too.
your phone call.
Thank
Putting
you,
a
thank you.
pin in that.
But it's I knew. I was I know what you're doing right now. You are trying to make yourself feel more powerful by trying to intimidate middle schoolers. I remember he took me out of class one time because I turned on the backgrounds on the computers of a fat hairy guy in a Speedo.
Nice.
And he's like, "You think this is funny?" You think? I was like, "Yes, I
Yeah.
think this." I was like, "This is funny."
You
I
hit,
just
you
told
hit
him.
the whole computer lab?
I had six. It was nothing big. It was 6
Nice.
computers. But
Okay.
he pulled me out of class. You think this is funny? I go, "This is funny." I just told him this is. I was like, "That's what
Wow.
it is." But
I didn't have those balls.
I did then. But my thing is now it's my intimidation with old men now is the intimidation of he could kick my ass. I'm not scared to say certain things, but I'm scared to bring a fight to a certain level because I think all old guys are strong for some reason.
Why does it go there? Why would they? Why do you go from?
Because when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, these old."
Why are you
people-
getting into so many fights with old men?
Well, when I was a kid, I think there was a thing
Fighting over the fucking baby powder in the locker room and shit?
Well, I think when I was a kid, I had this thing where I was like, okay, well, they can't fight me because I'm a kid, so I can talk all the shit I want. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, especially at comedy shows, there's a little bit of hesitation when I hear an old guy talking shit to me. I mean, I'll still say some stuff, but I have a little bit of oh, this guy might storm the stage. And kick my ass.
That's the same fucking confidence that women get when they go.
Oh, man,
they-
that can
they
be very
know.
upsetting
They're not
to
gonna
watch.
get hit. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they can just go any territory that they could dream of, any fathomable place.
Yeah, I can
that
say
that
whatever
has
I want,
been the product of a lot of World Star hip hop videos.
That
Women
confidence.
who are like, I'm totally not going to get hit for saying this. And then it's just there's a Russian watermark across the middle of the video, and it's some lady oh, slow and then the guy's just bah! Just looks
Yeah.
and walks away.
which
Ugh.
I want to say is wrong.
Sure.
Morning is not taking a full stance on the hitting of women.
No, I
no,
think
violence is wrong. Is
No, I do believe violence is wrong. Yeah.
no. I mean, let's just say I worked at retail for a while,
Mhm.
and sometimes male customers that kind of they could be bigger than you or whatever, but you tell them something they don't like, and generally they're they're pretty not necessarily understanding. They might be upset. They might tell you they're upset or whatever. But at the end of the day, they leave and whatever. And then the worst ones ever, where it's like a problem, or like it'll be like just small women that you'll tell them something and then they get upset and they stand there and they won't move. And then they'll just, it's like, well, we'll get security. I'm like, go ahead, go get it. Like they just know you're not touching them.
Yeah.
You can't not doing anything.
What kind of retail was it?
This was at the Apple Store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my God, those are the worst women. My mom was a Apple Store monster. My mom would go to the Apple Store, and my next door neighbor, who was me and my siblings' age, ended up like getting a job at the Apple Store when he was in his late teens. And she's my mom's a nice lady, so she wouldn't go there and be abusive.
Yeah.
But she would go there to specifically ask for my neighbor and just waste his time. Like, I can't figure out where my photos are. And he would be like, swipe the home screen. And she'd be like, oh, but like, it's always a time.
Did she come with like a notebook full of things that she wrote down?
She would write notes. My mom was a note taker, still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
your mother must be a sweet lady.
She's very sweet, but damn, does she not know how to use a fucking iPhone?
But that would be one of my least favorites.
Yeah.
People coming in.
Well, because it's so funny too. Because iPhones, like, I'm terrible at technology, but iPhones are like built for retard. Like it's literally it's built.
What are you saying about my mom, dog?
I'm saying here's the intellectually challenged. Here's your mom's IQ. No, well, it's like I'm so bad at technology, but it makes sense. I don't know, but I guess like if I was from a different era, it would be way trickier to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna take that back. I got a new iPhone. There's buttons on the side. I don't understand what they do.
No, my mom absolutely, and I've told her this before because we, would argue about these things. I would be like, you realize this phone, just being mean when I shouldn't have to my mom. Like, this phone is the most friendly to people who don't know how to use technology device on the planet, and you don't have a fucking clue how this works. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on this. Her being a nightmare with the phone.
My whole childhood is like my mom asking me how to do like simple things on the phone, and I so know how to do it, and I just scream in her face and refuse. And just thinking back on like how little it really would have taken to just do it, or if I do it, I give her the most like
passive aggressive,
shove it back in her hand kind of a thing.
You know what I think I would be? I would be, if I ever worked for you, I think I would be your worst employee.
Why?
Because I'm one of those people that's really slow and asks a lot of questions. And whenever somebody says the hardest thing I ever heard is, figure it out from a boss.
Ooh. Oh, well, that's a bad boss.
That is true too. Yeah.
If you ask me stuff like I would try to break it down to you as I prefer a person asking me questions on how to do things than to just assume that they do and then do it all wrong. And then when providing feedback to that person, they go, "Oh yeah," and then just go. That they clearly didn't just listen to anything you said, and they'll continue to be that person.
Yeah.
That's way worse.
This is what I'll do. I'll listen to it, and you'll explain it, and I'll go, "I'll be honest. Can you repeat that? I zoned out for a second."
Oh, that's no problem. That's always way preferred.
Yeah.
Because
I've realized over time, I'm like, there's no way for me to figure this out. Like I've had those Zoom calls where they're like, "Can you do this?" And then it's the worst when you can't. When you're like, dude, you're just kind of like. With your screen and the mouse, and you're like, yeah. I've been fired. I'm so incompetent, dude. I'm one of the least competent people. I've been fired from so many
general,
jobs.
Just in every skill,
dude.
Every trade.
Yeah, yeah.
You just need to find your thing.
I mean, I think that's why.
Could it be comedy?
I'm praying, dude. I am praying. I've had a couple people tell me they're like, dude, this fucking comedy shit better fucking work out because you. Yeah. I don't know what else. I can run bound events. I can run dress codes for the bound events.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you said what the bound makes way more sense as like a BDSM kink party, when I first heard you, my hearing's not great. I thought you said it was Mound. And I was like, that is the perfect but also most disgusting name for an orgy.
That's the amount of people.
Yeah, it just put this vision in my head of like 40 people just like in a lump of just writhing limbs and lube.
Yeah.
You know what kind of freaked me out? I've always wanted to go to an orgy, but everybody has HSV1 for the most part, like 80%.
That's like a visa, right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Was that swine flu?
No. Everybody's had it. So, like, for some reason, I've had a fear that if I go to a thing, they'll be like, "Oh, you have HSV1, you can't come in." But like 80% of people have it. It's like,
Wait, so you have it?
yeah, HSV1.
Okay. No, it's funny because you said it like I'm not going to go because so many people have it. I don't
that's
want
what
to
I
catch
thought.
it.
HSV1
Right?
As well.
And you
I
go,
was like, oh yeah, you don't want to get HSV1. That'd be a nightmare.
yeah.
No.
I don't want to go to those things, and they don't let me in because I have fucking HSV1. They give me some bullshit like that when everyone has it.
Yeah. No, I do generalize a lot. I definitely add like a couple percentages to the percent of people that have it. But
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I mean, everybody has. You never got a cold sore before?
I think I am in the lucky minority that I don't have any issues with that.
In the 7th grade, I got a cold sore, so now forever I have HSV1.
Okay.
You got HSV1 in 7th grade
Yeah.
through sexual activity?
I don't know, maybe.
No, what do you mean I don't know? I don't know, maybe.
Well,
you
I mean,
don't
kids
know
are
what you
disgusting.
did?
I imagine you can
get it so easily.
You can get that from like tactile exchanges.
If you
maybe.
share
Really?
so like
A kid goes down the slide, their fucking face presses against it, then your face presses against it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I was fucking
oh, you were smooching?
I was smooching in 7th grade.
Whoa.
dude.
Yeah, so fucking Occam's razor. Why don't we
Yeah,
just
you
go to
definitely got
that?
it from smooching.
Instead of this thing.
I'm really weird about stolen valor like that. I'm like, I don't want to say that I got it from that if I don't know that I got it.
I don't think it's stolen valor.
No,
I think
yeah.
it's just
It's not valor.
yeah.
Let's do a quick thing here. You smooched a lot from a young age, have HSV1. I didn't smooch ever for a while.
HSV2.
I don't have it. Yeah. I just went straight. I have boiled up.
Well, it's like the thing is, there's no reason in telling people you have HSV1 because there's a 100%. No, I stand by this. I will die on this hill because.
Is the hill the mound that you get on your face from a cold sore?
Yes. I haven't had a cold sore since 7th grade. So, yeah. 80,
So I don't know what this means or how it works. Just to
you
come
might
clean,
have it.
I poke right, and that's why I wanted to say like, I'm
So
joking,
shut
but,
the
like,
fuck up. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I think we should smooth this over with a kiss.
Well, it's like if 80% adults have it, that's like roughly the number, 80%.
80?
80, yeah. So then anybody you're going on a date on, there's more likely chance that they have it. So like
80%?
let's look it up.
I want to be really
It's probably
really
not
clear.
80%.
80%.
Look at what percent of adults have HSV1.
Sure.
If it's like 12, I'm gonna
Sure, I
fucking
haven't
kill
gotten
myself.
laid that much, but if 80 is the number, I should have HSV1.
Yeah, it's like most people. It might be 60, but more than half adults. What is it?
This is very funny. 50 to 80% of adults.
Holy
have it,
shit.
Which is
Yeah.
funny because you just opted to use the highest possible.
But you guys have both for sure made out with somebody who has HSV1.
I just didn't catch it.
You're
or maybe we have it,
overestimating
and
how
we're
many people have
asymptomatic.
kissed.
I think you're out there just giving kisses all day.
No.
You're just smooching the bodega guy.
Well,
If
I
I-
mean, 80 is a crazy transmissible rate considering every person you kiss, they've kissed their people.
Yeah.
It's like nearly impossible to not catch it if it's 80.
Totally.
You know?
So my thing is they should let me into Mound or Pound, whatever it's called.
Is it called pound? That would be even better.
I've never tried to. I'm just worried about the discussion a little bit. I don't know.
The pound is also a great name
Pound,
because
yeah.
it's sex, but also dog stuff.
Yeah.
So you get the collars.
Well, also, have you ever been tested for it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting here with two herpes
How would
filled
you,
men.
if I went to like get a full STD screen,
You
like
have to
whatever?
ask specifically, be like, can I get blood tested for HSV? And what happens is it's very scary because when you first click on the test, it says HSV 1 and 2. And you go, what? And it says positive. And then you click on it and it says you have HSV 1. You don't have HSV 2.
Okay.
Oh, 2 is bad?
2
That's
is like,
genital herpes, right?
no.
Oh.
You can have it wherever.
Oh.
Usually if you have HSV 2, it shows in the genitals. So it's like that's just the location of the herpes. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
that
see.
one, so that's cold sores on your genitals.
Yes.
Or is it more?
bumps or like blisters. Yeah.
Blisters?
And that is like, yeah. But that is like you have to take medication for that, or like I have not had a cold sore.
Is it
since
take
the seventh
medication
grade.
for it because you'll die, or because
No,
you'll?
because it'll like to reduce the symptoms and transmission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a friend who fucked 3 women and got it.
In his life?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that sucks.
It's unfair. Yeah.
It's a
But
bummer.
yeah, but yeah, it's like so like the second one is a big deal, and that's the one when people say herpes, they mean the second one.
Mhm.
Because most people, like, as in you're interacting with the first one, it's like it doesn't make sense to tell people because most.
Yeah. You should actually tell people if you don't have it.
Yeah, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
To be like,
Hey, just before we kiss, I'm HSV1 negative.
yeah,
And then they freak out anyway because it sounds scary.
yeah. Well, and also it's like I couldn't give it to anybody unless I have a cold sore, and I haven't had a cold sore since 7th grade. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's all right. Huh. If you wear a condom, you won't transmit genital herpes, right?
You can't apparently unless it's like up here or something. There's like some weird thing where like you could, but like I mean I'm not gonna just like everybody's like you can still get herpes with a condom. It's like there's I don't know like I don't think it's like I don't understand it, so I don't know why I'm talking like I have this confidence with it. But I think it's one of those things that you have to like. It's very unlikely you get it with a condom. They're like, well, condoms are only whatever percent effective, and you're like, yeah, but like.
It's pretty high.
You take that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
It's like condoms are like 50 to 99% effective.
Right. Yeah.
Just some insane range. Yeah, 50 to 80% is a crazy range.
Yeah. It's a coin toss or 8 out of 10.
Or really likely.
Right.
Yeah. Wait. So what? I got to hear more about this. What is bringing you to Bound?
Oh, yeah. So, comic buddy, I won't say who, but he's had a terrible breakup recently and has been finding himself and all sorts of stuff. And then he met some girl.
Finding all sorts of stuff inside of him.
Met some girl, and and she's like, "Hey, why don't you come to Bound?" This thing. Well, I'm giving a lot of info, but why don't you come and I'm gonna be part of this thing. And he's like, "All right." And he found that it's like so different and kind of weird, that he invited me
Yeah.
and another buddy, and that's something I've never done. And so I was like, sure, if it's with him, I'll go. And it sounds fun and different. And so I'll try it. When else would I ever do something like this? So yeah, now this is the week of. And
Are you nervous?
Very nervous. I'm so nervous.
So so you have to go in some sort of kink garb. I'm picturing.
And I hear people get turned away
for not being kinky enough.
not being king or not looking gay enough.
Okay.
That's actually I don't know about the second one, but definitely the
Right.
kink one.
I don't know how you would work on that. Like just would
that's
you
like-
just come with like fucking stuff dripping off your face and be like, sorry, here's my ID.
Limp when you walk up there.
Yeah. No, but like when you show up, you have to be traveling through public spaces to get there.
Yes.
So like I imagine there's maybe some sort of like
Jacket.
no, just like somewhere
Oh.
you get in and
Oh.
then there's like a vestibule or something where you get to disrobe
check.
and then present.
Yes.
Because you
yes.
can't just walk through the streets wearing like assless chaps and like just a like leather harness.
It's funny because of all the considerations I've made,
Uh-huh.
that didn't come up. Like all I thought was, it's too cold to go out
That's what I was
Dude,
thinking
just
as
seeing
well.
you on the train with like just a ball gag in is the funniest.
on your
idea.
phone.
Yeah.
I've
Having
seen
trouble
those.
getting into the train. Just
Yeah.
like.
And they say, we're gonna stopping here for delays, and the guy with the ball like, oh,
He has to take it out and he's just like just going to Myrtle Wyckoff.
this is fucking bullshit. Just
Yeah.
put it back in. Yeah. So
Takes it out to complain.
I've got stuff picked out.
Yeah.
I've got like a mesh shirt that it's literally the last thing open. I just put this on to
Dude, that's
dry.
awesome.
And I have leather
nice.
shorts coming in, and which, by the way, the model for this is so much
That's so
fucking
funny.
buffer.
What's the you said you have shorts coming in? What kind of shorts?
Leather shorts
Okay.
that are this high, and someone recommended I should get like a little fanny pack that'll like hold stuff,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna wear just black Adidas.
So I'm thinking you're gonna get turned away for not being kinky enough, unless I'm I have a different idea of what this thing is.
I don't think you need like a dildo in your ass.
That's what I'm picturing.
I don't think you need the harness and all that,
Oh,
but you do
okay.
need. From what I spoke with someone who seems to have done these things, and he's like, "Yeah, I would just show up in boxer shorts and be shirtless, and that's it."
Which you have to wear something to get there. It's
But
chilly.
that's the straightest.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you
Fuck,
catching cold.
Huh?
I'm worried about you catching cold
I-
and HSV1.
I'm planning on just driving there
Nice.
as close as possible, and then we walk.
Sprinting.
And then
I'm sorry, just the idea of somebody
You
just
run into an
driving.
X. You just that's the worst place possible. You're briskly walking to unmarked building. Jessica? Here, you look well.
That's so funny because it's like the like I really respect your like you're doing this with your buddy, like very
Same.
open-mindedness. Because like I'm a fucking weirdo, so like to me, something like that's like a no-brainer. I'm like, yeah, of course I would go to like a fucking orgy. I'm like, almost no-brainer.
Yes.
But for you being like the way you're going about it, you're like, it's not my typical crowd. You know, look, we're gonna see what happens. Like most people, I feel like are like, maybe I'm wrong, but most people are like, yeah, I'm gonna go to a fucking orgy, or they're like, this is obviously I'd go to an orgy. But to kind of be like, let me see what this orgy's about.
Yeah.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's a good friend.
Yeah.
It's a good friend.
I see what you're saying is that people going to that are drawn to like the sex aspect and going, whoa, I got to see that or whatever. To me, the sex thing is interesting, and I'm certainly going to see it and whatever. But there's also like a music area. I think I'll like, yeah, for some reason I'm not crazy about like, well, let's see all the sex. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
But I am an adventurous person as far as like I like doing offbeat things.
Yeah,
here and
for
there.
sure. And
You
people
know?
are like, I think that's so cool because so many people are so the other way. They're like, I would never go see, even if you're not participating in the fucking. I'm like, if somebody's like, dude, there's like, and I'm straight, but if somebody's like, there's two guys butt fucking right outside, I'll be like, let me.
Yeah, you're gonna go
Yeah.
spread the curtains a little bit.
Yeah,
Just-
there's two guys butt fucking. Like, I'm always curious. I'm like, that
You
sounds
have
like a
to.
good story. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So I think
crazy.
it's gonna be a great story. Yeah.
I think so.
yeah.
I think why not?
I think it's also like, yeah, maybe this isn't your thing, but it's also just nice to be invited to something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice. Even it's just like, look, this isn't my thing, but I was asked, and it's like, all right, hang out with the people who want to hang out with you.
I'm picturing you just like looking at your calendar, and that's the thing you were invited to that month. You're like, well, I got to do something. I just got to be like,
Right.
Like, I got to fill Saturday, so I guess.
Damn, there's not a football game on or something my friends are going to.
right.
A very big part of why I'm doing it is like what other time will I be able to get to do this with someone I know? Because I would
Sure.
never do this by myself.
Yeah.
That's too scary.
Yeah.
So this is a way in, and I think there's some excitement too, like
Sure.
wearing. I'm gonna put on eyeliner as well,
Nice.
which I was an emo kid, but I missed out.
Really?
I was too late. Yeah, so
Holy
I didn't get
moly.
to do that. I would just wear the clothes, and I was like, this is kind of like engaging that part that I missed out on, and also challenging the part of my brain that's like, I grew up in Queens, like it's gay, whatever, and now I get to wear the gayest thing I've ever worn and be like, all right, this is do it, And I showed my friends from Queens and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? They think it's so weird.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so interesting as somebody who grew up outside of New York City to hear, because everybody has this idea of New York City as being like this liberal mecca in a good or bad way.
Yeah.
But then you meet New Yorkers and you're like, you guys are townies.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not. People who are New Yorkers are like some of the most ignorant people I've ever met in my life. Like I used to work with this lady, Teresa, who was just dumber than fucking shit. She was this fat fucking Italian lady, old.
Sounds hot.
She could take her teeth out, buddy.
Ooh.
She came into work one day without them because she had a mouth infection that was so bad it
Jesus.
swelled her face up till she couldn't fit her teeth in.
Jesus.
HSV1.
Maybe. Yeah, she was talking about how they need to like round up all the homeless people and put them in a camp. She's
Well, dude.
and it's like that's New York. That's
yeah,
New
that
York.
is wild. It's the same
Yeah.
location that like it's really funny too because like
It's really just Williamsburg, Bushwick, like the gentrified area has become the very liberal
Yeah, yeah.
areas. And I don't know how that became the stock representation of the New York way of thinking. But you go to the very ethnic parts of New York,
Mhm.
ignorant people.
well, you know what I think it is too. I think it's when you have people on top of people, it creates more friction than it does acceptance. So I think that like
Possible.
in
yeah.
places where like one of the most racist guy I know is from New York. He's this old Italian guy, and it's
Mhm.
because you're on top of other people. You're like it's so much harder to like accept somebody when you're crammed like in a corner with them.
Mm.
So I think it's like you're probably like crammed in a corner with like a bunch of like gay guys, and you're like, eh.
Yes.
Versus like I think maybe in other like cities where it's more spread out, maybe even like LA, you're kind of like, oh, there's gay guys on that side of the street. Versus like it being
I had this thing I guess I was always trying to figure out, but that like there's the ignorant racism that's really bad. It's like you've never met a black person and you're afraid of them and you hate them. And then you go level up from that, and then you go accepting and you cease because you have them. And then there's one more where they're your customers and they're your people you work with, and you see all their patterns and things. It's driving you fucking crazy, and you go, this fucking black guy, this comes in like this with his attitude and doesn't respect me and shit.
Yeah.
That's the New York level of racism.
Yeah.
Is on the top.
Informed racism.
Informed
is what you're saying.
racism.
Yeah.
It's not
elevated
ignorant racism.
racism.
The what?
Elevated racism.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also that makes sense, and there just needs to be the word racist is so silly because it's such a umbrella term for so many.
Right.
It's like they need to, but we're over an hour, so yeah.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Just when we were heating up. Just when we were heating up,
Oh,
getting to talk about race and
Yeah.
how people are different. Man, I wish we had another hour.
It's good to end the race talk after a hot thing was said, and then we don't have time to explain ourselves.
And anyway, guys,
I would love to. I could do this for fucking ever, but it's like
Same.
I gotta do things after this. It's the only reason
Sure,
I'm taking off. I
Yeah,
wasn't not
yeah.
having fun. I was having fun.
Yeah.
I was having fun too. It was
Yeah.
a great time.
What was the thing? What's the thing you have to do after?
I got to send this file to somebody. Then I have to write for an hour, and then I was going to go hang out at the Comedy Village and try to get in there. So there's an 8:00 show there, so I have to leave at exactly 7:30.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You
Thanks for testing me there.
Nothing. Not true obligations.
No.
Right.
But, yeah.
Okay, okay.
You asked me to remind you about the paint phone call, but now that we've run out of time, I wanted to wait until we were done. To figure it out. So tune in next time.
Yeah.
For
A little
Michael's
cliffhanger.
paint
Yeah.
telephone story.
Yeah. Oh, did you already promote your Instagram or anything?
Oh, everything is Andrew Man thing.
Ooh.
That's
Good,
check
man.
me out.
But at Peter Wong Comedy, I have a special on YouTube. So type in Peter Wong on YouTube. I'll come up, and that's it.
Yeah, very fucking funny. Watch his stand up. Very fucking funny. Watch his stand up.
Thanks, Michael.
And thank you for listening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ah.